Hello, everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. As always, I hope you'll enjoy this legal education content, and today is the day I earn that subscription. For today's story, we are dealing with a curious case of Sam Brinton. Sam Brinton was the head of nuclear waste disposal for the Department of Energy, the U.S. government agency that deals with nuclear weapons and nuclear waste. And they were the head of all nuclear waste disposal for the United States government. Well, Sam Brinton, as it turns out, is very non-binary and also likes to steal women's luggage. The person responsible for the storage of the nuclear waste may have some own things of waste of his own, or her own, or whatever. So let's discuss the curious case of Sam Brinton and the luggage thefts. Let's get started with this. This is a Sam Brinton. This is their official photo that has been provided by the U.S. Department of Energy. This is their official photograph. Okie dokie. The high-ranking Biden official in the U.S. Department of Energy has been charged with stealing luggage at a Minneapolis airport. Sam Brinton, the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Spent Fuel and Waste Disposal at the Department of Energy, is accused of taking the suitcase valued at $2,300, so they have expensive tastes, from a luggage carousel in Minneapolis, St. Paul, according to a criminal complaint that was filed in Minnesota District Court. Brinton, who is a resident of Rockville, Maryland, who identifies as non-binary, had traveled from Washington, D.C. to Minneapolis, St. Paul on September the 16th, according to the complaint. A woman who traveled with her son on Delta Airlines flight from New Orleans on that day alerted law enforcement at the airport that her suitcase, which is navy blue, hard-sided, 26-inch roller bag, was missing from the baggage claim. The bag had been scanned as arriving at the airport, but was missing from the carousel. Police obtained video footage from the carousel, where the bag was supposed to be. At 4:45 p.m., a person later identified as Brinton was seen removing the bag from the carousel, removing the bag tag, and putting the bag tag in the handbag they were carrying before leaving the area at quick pace. So probably not an accident. The woman confirmed the suitcase as hers. Officials later confirmed that Brinton had arrived at the airport at 4:27 and confirmed that they hailed a rideshare vehicle to leave the airport carrying with them a blue bag. In a nice little twist, records from American Airlines confirmed that Brinton had not checked a bag when departing from Washington, D.C. So as if we need further evidence that this was not a mistake, right? Brinton over here takes the bag, removes the bag tag from the bag, puts the bag in their purse, and escapes with it. How do we know that they wasn't just a bag confusion issue somehow? Because they didn't check a bag at all. No bag. So it couldn't have been their bag. So not well thought out. Police later learned that Brinton had stayed at a riverfront hotel and was seen on surveillance footage carrying the bag into the hotel. Brinton was seen with surveillance footage returning to the airport to catch a flight back to DC. Upon arrival, they checked the blue bag and provided an itemized list of the contents and its value, estimated at $2,300. So for some reason, Brinton over here, we know what the bag contained because they themselves declared it, apparently. The complaint also alleges that Brinton was seen traveling with the bag once more at Washington Dulles after returning from a trip to Europe. The owner of the bag was shown a picture of it and confirmed that was theirs. A police officer claims to have called Brinton to discuss the incident, asking if they took anything that belonged to them or didn't belong to them, to which Brinton apparently said, "Not that I know of." The officer claims that Brinton later admitted taking the bag, but denies the clothes for another individual were inside. Brinton allegedly told the officer, "If I'd taken the wrong bag, I'm happy to return it, but I don't have any clothes for another individual. That was my clothes when I opened the bag." 2 hours later, Brinton called the officer back and apologized for not being completely honest. During the subsequent conversation, Brinton admitted to taking the bag, but claimed to have been tired and took the suitcase thinking it was theirs. Which is difficult since you didn't check a bag. When opening the bag at the hotel and realizing the error, Brinton allegedly claimed to have been nervous that people will think that they stole the bag and didn't know what to do. Incidentally, if you wind up with a bag that's not yours, you can just call the airport and be like, I have an airbag. I have a bag that doesn't belong to me. And they will shuttle it for you. This is not something unknown to airports. Yeah. Brenton reportedly claimed to have left the owner's clothing inside drawers in the hotel room and admitted they checked the bag on the return flight. When the officer questioned why Brenton took the action, Brenton allegedly responded that they did not want to leave the bag in the hotel room, reasoning it was weirder to leave the bag than clothes. I'm not sure why. As a result of this incident, Brenton currently faces a charge of felony theft, which could result in a 5-year jail sentence, $10,000 fine, or both. But wait, friends, there's more. Because Sam Brenton has been accused of a second luggage theft. This is not the only theft. Not the only time they have done this. Yeah. Sam Brenton, in charge of all nuclear waste for the U.S. Department of Energy, has been accused of stealing luggage, this time from Las Vegas. I suppose if you're looking for kitschy women's clothing, stealing from the Las Vegas airport is probably a pretty good way to go. Brenton, who's in charge of the nuclear waste, has been accused of stealing luggage, of course, from Las Vegas, and resulting in a felony warrant issued to Brenton on charge of grand larceny. In response to these criminal charges, a group of House Republicans, but apparently not Democrats for some reason, have penned a letter to the Energy Secretary demanding that Brenton resign. I mean, they do have to have a top secret clearance, I believe, if not higher, because of nuclear energy. Nuclear weapons in particular, I believe it's Q is the energy, nuclear energy, at least background check or clearance level. They have a special one. I don't know whether or not they get Q or not for nuclear waste, but it's a pretty high position. As an appointed official, Sam Brenton represents the department and the United States. It's simply not possible for this individual to represent American values and simultaneously violate felony laws, according to the lawmakers. Brenton's actions, along with the department's lack of transparency when dealing with this matter, reflect poorly on the Department of Energy and raise concerns the Biden administration's priority when appointing high-ranking officials. I mean, I don't look at this person and it doesn't strike me with confidence that they are in charge of the nuclear waste. This is not my picture of what a nuclear waste professional would look like. So yeah. Thus, that brings us to the end of Sam Brenton, who, once again, this is their official photo from the U.S. Department of Energy. I just want to make that 100% clear in case anyone thinks I was choosing a bad photo or something. This is literally a photo from the Department of Energy, which means, incidentally, it's a work of the U.S. government and not subject to copyright. So have all the fun you want on this photo. So this is their official photo from the Department of Energy, and I look at this individual and I don't think to myself, man, I am really feeling in safe hands with the nuclear waste disposal. I'm not really feeling really good. And now we have double felony thefts of women's clothes and suitcase. And at least of the time of this recording, to the best of my knowledge, have still not been fired from the Department of Energy. Which, wow. So all those things are happening. Thus, that is the tale of Sam Brenton, and that brings us to the end of the discussion of this story.